The Singer Featherweight C240 sewing machine comes equipped with 3 different buttonholes, 10, 11, and 12. And we are going to do a corded buttonhole also. So make sure you check out that video. Then of course we got to sew on the buttons. So we'll do a video for sewing on the buttons. Stitch number 13. That's the stitch that does it for you. It's awesome. So let's take a look at what it takes to set up the buttonholes for this machine. So start off by, let's just do 10. That's going to be your most standard size. Next, your book will actually guide you to adjust your tension. So bring it down to 3 or even 2.5. So what that's going to do is it's going to make that buttonhole little satin stitch really pull to the back side nicely. So everybody wants a good looking buttonhole on the top. That's how you're going to get it. Just don't forget to put that tension back to normal when the buttonholes are done on your project. And where do we see buttonholes? We see it more than just garments. You can do it on home deck items and pillowcases, shower curtains, like if you're putting something through all those rings, that's a great place. Drawstring bags, you name it. Buttonholes are showing up a lot more than just clothing. So you do have, it does tell us to use foot 5. Is it 58? It is. Oh, no, it's 5B. So I'm like, how did that come up? So foot 5B, that's what that is, not an 8. It's a B foot. This buttonhole foot will come with your machine. And if you notice, there is a bar that is going to be, you might say, in the front. And this all sticks out the back side of the machine. So as you're holding it like this, you can take this back lever and you hear the little click, click. Open that up all the way and take the button you want the buttonhole size to match and put it in the back of the foot. Now here's a little trick. Usually what I'll tell our students after they've made a few buttonholes is leave a button in the back of your foot, and then that way when you come back to it 6 months from now, you're like, oh yeah, that's right, that's where the button goes. So we're going to put the foot on next. You do need to make sure that the Singer integrated even feed system is disengaged. This is not a foot you use that with, and attach the foot like you normally would. The last thing you do, now it's right behind your needle threader, there's another item. You pull it all the way down. Even has a picture of a buttonhole on it. That's what's going to track how big the button is that's sitting in the back of your foot. And when we start, once we start, you just sew. You sew until the buttonhole is done. It knows where to finish. It will lock it for us, and then it will stop. So I will give you a hint though. The buttonholes do travel away from us. So when you start, make sure that you have fabric behind you, and you're not just starting like right on the edge of your fabric, because it would travel off of it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just, since the first time you put your buttonhole foot on, your top thread is usually above the foot. So usually what I'll do is just take a few stitches and then right about here, I can even snip it, as long as you don't cut your needle thread. Okay, so just go ahead and stitch. You'll stitch away from us, and then the machine will get told when to come back and do those other steps. It just does the whole thing for you. So just keep your foot on the foot control until the buttonhole comes to a complete stop. There's those locking stitches. I've got the needle set to stop down. We'll fix that. And then that way it will, oh, did you see it? It also resets at the end of the buttonhole. So there we go. That is how easy a buttonhole can be. Now once you open this and maybe test your button through it, now you can just go ahead, have the starting point, make sure you mark where you want your buttonholes to start, and then all you need to do is go ahead and step on the foot control and start. You can also use the start-stop button. So right now all I did was touch this, and you can actually, well, you wouldn't walk away from your machine, but you could. All right, that's how easy buttonholes are. You do have a keyhole, a rounded buttonhole, and also a stretch buttonhole that you should try out. They work the exact same way as just the regular number 10 buttonhole. There we go. Needle up, resets the foot, and they are perfect every single time. Now remember, we adjusted that tension, so if you are done doing buttonholes, make sure that you put that tension back to normal for getting back to, like, say, straight stitching. Next, let's do some corded buttonholes. You can click on the little eye up in that top corner, and I'll take you over to the corded buttonhole video.